The Hasidic approach to anxieties, all based on the story of Noah. Anxieties, especially of the financial variety, can be compared to floodwaters. In Kabbalah, it's taught that the floodwaters were not punitive, but it was a form of purification. So too with our anxieties. Of course, nobody selects to experience anxiety, but it nevertheless is a reality for most people. We should therefore strive to identify its purpose. And that purpose is the drive to nullify the lower version of yourself and strive for a higher version. Now, when the flood started, we're taught that rain fell from above and that water rose from the great depths. In terms of anxiety, this means that anxiety can stem from low reasons and high ones, selfish reasons and selfless reasons. But even the anxieties for selfless reasons, one should try to avoid, because with anxiety, one performs less good deeds and becomes less wise through the study of Torah. Both of them weigh the person down. Therefore, one should seek to avoid these anxieties by entering their ark. The word for ark in Hebrew is teva. It's the same word as the word word. Therefore, the Baal Shem Tov recommends that if someone seeks to avoid the floodwaters of anxiety, they should surround themselves with the words of Torah and prayer. But this should not be a selfish pursuit. Just as Noah schlepped with him his household members onto the ark, so too we should be concerned about the anxiety mitigation of those within our sphere of influence. However, if this ark is going to work, the words of prayer cannot be lip service, and the Torah study cannot be strictly academic. They must instead have a God-infused transcendence to them, so they can lift you above the mighty waters. But how are we entitled to that transcendence? Why would God infuse us with that gift? The Rebbe explains that when God sees us being charitable with this ark of refuge for the anxieties of others, God will be charitable with us with that transcendence which allows the ark to work. And then when the flood has subsided and we have successfully elevated all aspects of our personal world above that anxiety, God implores us to leave the ark and embrace the real world, elevating it with our newfound godly enlightenment.